Thank you for joining me for this webinar session focused on citizen science. My name is Amanda Bice, and I'm the Science Program Manager at the Georgia Department of Education. So what is citizen science? Well, it's an opportunity to find local ways to make a difference. So maybe you're interested in endangered plants and animals, water quality, or preventing disease. You can find topics that you are interested in and concerned about, then collect and report local data to help real scientific research. It's a community endeavor. Science needs more eyes, ears, and perspectives on the ground than any single scientist alone possesses. It's a collaboration. Citizen science is a way for scientists and those of us who are curious, concerned, and motivated to collaborate to make a difference. It's an invitation, because at its core, citizen science is an invitation to everyone to participate in real science. And while it's typically a lot of fun, it is also serious data collection that accelerates scientific research. April is Citizen Science Month, but most research projects are ongoing, so any time of the year is a great time to begin and to participate. If you want specific information about events going on during April, check out citizensciencemonth.org. I'll share one project in this webinar that happens on two specific dates, but the other projects I will highlight are ongoing. I'll also focus on projects that can be done safely from home and local neighborhoods. Citizen science is a great way to engage our students and their families with science learning during the school year and during times when school is out of session. It's important to remember that learning happens in both formal and informal spaces. Learning can happen independently or with guidance. We can expand the walls of the traditional formal classroom by reminding our students that learning can take place anywhere, anytime. One research study found that the average 10 to 14-year-old can recognize 1,000 corporate logos, but cannot identify 10 plants that grow near their home. Getting students in nature and involved with citizen science projects can help with that. So in this webinar, I will highlight citizen science projects that will require some time, specific collecting and reporting requirements, and some commitment. But I will also highlight some simple apps that students can easily use for their own enjoyment and with much less supervision and requirements. Typically, the apps will work in tandem with a citizen science project if a student, family, or teacher decides to invest the time in citizen science. First, I'd like to share a Georgia project. This is the project I mentioned that does just happen 2 days out of the year. In 2020, it takes place on August 21st and 22nd. I really love this project because it is Georgia-based, but also because it is super easy to participate. The hardest part for some will be sitting still and watching a single plant for 15 minutes. The goal is simply to count and identify the pollinators that visit your chosen plant in the 15 minutes you're observing it. It's that simple. This effort is coordinated by the UGA Extension, and all information regarding participation can be found at ggapc.org. They provide an insect identification guide and everything you will need to participate. I will note that due to accuracy requirements for the data reporting, they request that younger students, pre-K and kindergarten, just simply count the number of pollinators and describe the insects. They won't be able to count that in their data, but students will still benefit greatly from the experience. iNaturalist is a collaboration from the California Academy of Science and National Geographic. The Seek app is an awesome resource. You simply take a photo of a plant or animal, and the app uses that along with your location to make an identification. For students who are interested and able in going further, they can access all of the information regarding this project at iNaturalist.org. The researchers provide a lot of guidance for teachers in an effort to get accurate data reported, so I highly recommend the video tutorials. Families, students, and teachers will need to plan for a little more time to go through all of the tutorials and protocols before they plan to begin. Bud Burst is a citizen science project out of the Chicago Botanic Garden. To participate in this project, participants need to photograph and note when the leaves of a tree unfurl or when a flower opens. They then upload their photos. I was amazed at how the leaves of my oak tree changed in the course of a single day. It's amazing to see what is going on around you when you slow down and pay attention. A non-tech approach to this type of study is to simply have your students adopt a tree or plant and draw it over the course of the year. Budburst data are freely available to anyone to download and use. So even if you don't want to participate, but you are looking for real data to analyze, this is a good source. This is a great project out of the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. For novices, you could use the Merlin Bird ID app, which is free and a great resource for identifying birds in your yard. It is super easy to use, and the app alone could be a great science tool for families. For students, teachers, and families that want to go further, they need to register to participate in the citizen science project called eBird. Participants enter when, where, and how they went birding, document bird distribution, abundance, habitat use, and trends through checklist data collected with a simple scientific framework. The amount of collected data that is available and freely shared from this project is another plus. There are great visual maps to show migration patterns and more. So we will leave the life science projects for a bit and investigate earth and physical science concepts. Globe at Night is an interesting citizen science project that looks at the impact of light pollution. This project is more web-based dependent, but there are two related apps that work nicely in parallel. One is Loss of the Night, and the other is Dark Sky Meter. In order to participate in this project, participants must go out more than an hour after sunset. They use the Globe at Night website to help find their constellation in the night sky. They use the website to find latitude and longitude of the location where they are making their observation, and they then match their observation to one of the 7 provided magnitude charts and note the amount of cloud cover. There really are so many projects to explore. I've tried to highlight a few that cover different content, are very accessible, and have related apps for those not quite able or ready to devote time to full participation in a project. I've thought about projects that families and students could independently access if schools are closed. I've thought about projects that teachers could easily weave into their classrooms and share with students. To see a list of projects, visit scistarter.org. Limit your focus to just 1 or maybe 2 projects to incorporate. Some projects are one-time events, but many could have the learner engaged over long periods of time, making observations to notice patterns and to think about cause and effect. Engaging in real science is more important than covering a lot of material. Find a project that meets your interest and simply enjoy. As we come across projects and great ideas, we try to share them on Twitter, so please follow us at GaDOE Science. If you're interested in other instructional materials, visit georgiastandards.org or our website, GaDOE.org. Search for science under curriculum and instruction. We are always happy to hear from you. Send us an email. Thanks for your interest in sharing citizen science projects with your community. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you for your time today.